So, you've been training for a while, probably a pretty long time now, 3 to 6 months, a year, but you're so frustrated. You're at your wit's end because you are not seeing the results that you should be seeing or that you would hope to see with all the hard work you're putting into your strength training. That's why I brought together my top 6 list of reasons why you aren't getting stronger. And most of the time, you're a victim of at least one of these. I know at times in my life, I've probably been at least 3 or 4 of these at one time. So don't worry, you're not alone. But check this out and really ask yourself, are you breaking these rules? And if you are, I highly recommend, just if you're not fulfilling more than one of these, I'd find the one that's affecting you the most and make that change. Once you figure out that one and develop a better habit, then move on to the next one. Instead of trying to change everything all at once, unless you're crazy and you think you can, go for it. So, why aren't you getting stronger? Oh, I cut off my G there. First one, not enough sleep. That's like me right now. And sometimes a lack of sleep can come from stress. Sometimes it can come from little children. Sometimes it can come from just not taking control and organizing your life and trying to get to sleep. We do have things like Netflix nowadays where we can watch marathons of our favorite shows. I love Netflix, by the way. But it can keep you up all night. If you know you have to get up for work at 7 or 6, it's probably not a good idea to stay up till midnight or 1 or whatever. If you can go to sleep earlier, do it. The reason sleep is so important is that is our body's prime recovery time. That is where our body actually produces the results that we want to see from our workouts. The results you see are not coming from inside the gym, how much you deadlifted, how many push-ups you did. It comes from how you are recovering. And your sleep, more so than food, more so than water sometimes, sleep, it makes the biggest difference in your recovery and how much strength you're going to see. I know that when my sleep suffers, my strength gains really suffer. In fact, I tend to get a lot weaker if I've been consistently not getting enough sleep. Next, inconsistent. Okay, this goes with my Strength Training 101 post, one of the first posts I wrote. Being consistent with what you're doing is going to pay off big. If you're training 4 times one week and then the next week you train like once or twice, and the next week you train once, then you miss a week, and then you come back and train 4 times again, it's not going to work. I've actually run into people that I've trained myself. In fact, I can remember one woman when I trained people out of Texas. She was great. When she came in, great attitude, she'd work hard, and she would train for like 2 weeks straight. And then she would always go on like this 1-week vacation. I know, great job, right? She always had this flexibility, but she would go on this vacation for like a week or even 2 sometimes. And then she'd come back, and she did this like 3 or 4 times in a row the first 4 months I trained her. And she was pissed at me. She's like, John, why am I not seeing any gains in strength? Why am I not getting stronger? I feel like I'm getting weaker. And ultimately, when I started talking to her, I found out that she thought strength was this like accumulative process that just kind of built and built and built, almost like a savings account where you just put money in when you can, and it just keeps accumulating over time and building bigger and bigger and more. And I explained to her that strength doesn't work that way. In fact, if our body doesn't have something to adapt to positively as far as strength goes, it's just going to maintain its status quo and adapt to the status quo and go back to where it was doing, where it didn't have to recover hard and require all this extra stuff from training. So being consistent. Train 2, 3, 4, 5 days a week and do that every week. Strength is an ongoing thing, guys. It's not something that you work hard to build and then you can stop doing it for 3, 6, 12 months and it's going to stay. It's not. And in most cases, you can lose a lot of strength in as little as 2 to 4 weeks. So stick with it. Not doing more. Okay, I've addressed this in a few other posts, but in order for you to get stronger, you need to do more than you did last time. That doesn't always mean more weight on the bar. It can mean more sets, more reps, sets and reps in less time. It can be shorter rest periods. It can be more speed on the bar or whatever tool you're using. Bottom line is you got to do more than previously, okay? It doesn't have to happen every single session, but your goal should be to do more over time. You need to challenge your body. Wrong exercises, okay? Standing on one foot on a Bosu ball, blindfolded, doing one-arm rows with a resistance band probably isn't going to be the best thing for you to build strength. There's just too many variables in there. I recommend keeping things simple and using what most people would refer to full body compound lifts. Push-ups, pull-ups, rows, bench press, squat, hip hinge, deadlift, lunge, sled drags, sled pushes, farmer carries, power cleans, push presses. These are the movements that are going to help you build strength throughout your entire body. Does that mean you can't do curls and push downs? Heck no, because I love curls and push downs. They feel great. But the core of your training program should be these full body lifts. I put a list of them in the post below, so check it out. Not eating enough food, okay? This is one I talked about previously in another post. If you are not eating enough food for your recovery, your body won't have anything to pull from in order for you to recover enough to build strength. Your body will be craving nutrients. It'll start pulling things from other parts of your body where you need energy from and the sources that you need to build more muscle tissue, to build more strength. You've got to fuel your workouts, guys. And too much stress. If you've ever had kids, then you know what I'm talking about. If you've ever had a job working for the government, you know what I'm talking about. It can be a lot of stress. So take a look at your life. Take a look at your friends, your family, people who support you, your job, and just your overall lifestyle. Look at these things that are causing stress to you. And it may not be mental stress. Binge drinking multiple days on the weekend can cause a lot of stress to your body. Not getting enough sleep, first one, can cause a lot of stress to your body. Working in a job that you hate can cause a lot of stress to your body. These stresses will affect your strength gains. The more stress that we have, the more of a hormone that we develop or that we build up called cortisol. You've probably heard of it 1,000 times from all the gurus out there. But cortisol is actually a good hormone. It actually helps us wake up in the morning and over the course of the day levels out and then peters off so we can go to sleep, okay? But too much cortisol from elevated stress levels, okay, it can become chronically high, and that can actually lead to, if our cortisol levels are too high at night from stress, it actually make it really difficult for us to fall asleep. And then when we don't get enough sleep, our cortisol levels raise even more during the next day, and it becomes this vicious cycle where we're not getting sleep and we're just getting more stressed. And the bottom line is, it is really difficult to build strength with chronic amounts of high stress, okay? The good stress that we do want is the stress that comes from in the gym, and that's okay and that's good. But having too much stress all the time is actually gonna make things a lot worse. If you just got done with a really stressful day at work and you got all this stuff on your mind and then you go in the gym and stress your body, you're just adding on to that stress. It's compounding and it's getting worse, and it may not be the best idea for you. Okay, so if you're not getting stronger, take a real good look at all 6 of these reasons why you might not be getting stronger and start attacking them. If you do need help or you have questions on how to attack some of these, please post in the comments below and let me know how I can help. That's all I got for you guys today. Take care. Peace.